Are you with the Bureau of Prisons? You're military? You're not commenting? There's a disturbing trend of unidentified security forces showing up in the nation's capital. It's been splashed across the front pages of papers. These law enforcement officers display no identification, they wear no badges. When asked, they are vague or don't answer at all. But the Department of Justice says today,
I could understand why some of these individuals simply wouldn't want to talk to people about who they are, if that in fact was the case.
Some reporters have noted an assortment of more than a dozen different agencies, like DEA, ATF, even prison guards from the Bureau of Prisons with training in suppressing prison riots.
I probably should have done a better job of marking them nationally as the agency. Point is well taken, but I assure you that no one was specifically told, to my knowledge, not to identify themselves.
But people across the country are seeing the use of unidentified forces like you might expect in a country led by an authoritarian regime. Not identifying themselves shields these officers from accountability. Protesters who are assaulted or arrested have no way of knowing who's responsible. Even a former Secret Service agent told me today that, quote, playing coy with who you are undermines the credibility of law enforcement in general. Meanwhile, a ramp up of more regular forces also has outraged some in uniform. I spoke with a National Guardsman who is AWOL as of today. He asked to remain anonymous and for his voice to be distorted because he fears for his family's safety.
After what happened in Lafayette Park, that was sickening to me. And I didn't even want to put on the uniform anymore. I've totally stepped away from the armed forces and am denying going in.
Are there other people in your unit who feel the same way and are considering taking the same kinds of actions that you have?
I think most people in the armed forces are uncomfortable with what's going on. But to a lot of them, they see this as a way to be like a neutral party, to try to like calm things down. However, there are a very hardcore contingent that are very sympathetic to police and or work as officers and have a long history of, as we know from the FBI reports and stuff from like the 90s of like, past couple of years, white supremacists and alt-right people infiltrating cops and military. That does worry me. I think a lot of people have been really wanting something like this to happen. It's an excuse to crack some heads of people they really disagree with.
Meanwhile, Congress is watching. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi today demanded an accounting of what federal forces the Trump administration is deploying in D.C. And Democratic Senator Chris Murphy plans to introduce a bill requiring uniformed federal agents on domestic security duties to clearly show their names and identify who they're with.
The real worry here is that if all of a sudden there are unidentified law enforcement out in the street, that gives an opportunity for right-wing militias, for instance, to put their people out on the streets as well and disguise themselves as law enforcement. We have a long history in this country of police officers, anyone doing crowd control, of identifying who they are, and that needs to start today. No more unidentified law enforcement officers on the streets of DC or anywhere else in this country.